Yet the media wants to make this into a big deal. It was a different world back then than it is now, as far as what men could do. I mean, maybe you got a slap in the face if you were a little bit aggressive, but that was it. I mean, obviously times have changed now, but back then, that's how it was. But that's nothing. The media wants to focus on this, and of course, this lady is getting $5 million for defamation, right? I'm in a defamation lawsuit myself. She's getting $5 million because she accused the president of raping her. The president said that's a lie, and now she gets $5 million for defamation. Well, it was a lie because the jury didn't find any evidence of rape. Now, yes, they did claim that there was evidence of harassment, but that's not the same as rape. And so isn't he entitled, if somebody says, hey, you raped me, can't you say, no, I didn't, that woman's a liar? I mean, now if someone falsely accuses you of rape, you can still be sued for defamation if you call your accuser a liar, even if it turns out that they did lie about the rape, but maybe there's something else that you did that's not nearly as bad as rape, because whatever he's accused of doing is not rape. It's not even close. Rape is really, really bad, right? If you're just getting a little fresh with a woman and she feels uncomfortable, that's not raping her. I mean, that could be wrong, bad behavior, but it ain't rape. Rape is a whole new level. So if somebody says, yeah, he kissed me and I didn't want him to, and he raped me, and then you say, I didn't rape her, and it turns out that you did kiss her, but you didn't rape her, and she accused you of rape, and you said that she was a liar, you were right to call her a liar. It was perfectly legitimate to do that, but now apparently it's not because he was awarded defamation. But the media is making a mountain out of this molehill. Here, Joe Biden has an actual mountain. This is a Mount Everest of evidence against Joe Biden. And the media is making a molehill out of that mountain by attacking the Republicans for going after the Bidens, when what the Bidens did was wrong. The media should be outraged by this conduct, especially so overt as to what actually took place. And the guy is still in office. And so that, to me, is more outrageous. I mean, the media, right, is not reporting the news. It is all fake news. The media is covering up, right, the Biden crimes. Now, why are they doing that? Well, obviously, because they don't want to hurt Biden politically, because they don't want to help Trump, because Trump's the most likely person that Biden is going to run against. And the last thing the media wants is a second term for Trump. And so if they have to lie and cover up all this dirt on Joe Biden in order to help ensure that Donald Trump doesn't have another term, well, that's what they're going to do. But that is not what the press is supposed to be here for. The press is supposed to, help protect us from corrupt government by reporting on the corruption, by keeping some checks and balances on government. I mean, that's the whole role of a free press, to help protect us from an oppressive government, not to help protect an oppressive government from the people, help an oppressive government cover up their crimes. But that is exactly what the American media is doing. And I think this is really a new low in the way they are covering this. And I'm sure more stuff is going to come out on this investigation as it continues. But one other thing, too, that I wanted to talk about related to media bias, because I read this long article in The Atlantic, and I wasn't really familiar with this story until I read this article. And it's about this guy, Jeff Karpoff, who started this company, DC Solar. And the guy is in jail now. He was sentenced last year. He's got a 30-year federal prison sentence for fraud, or I'm not sure exactly what he was convicted of, but he did a lot of bad stuff, and he's got 30 years in prison. But the article goes over this gigantic Ponzi scheme that he was running with DC Solar. But the article completely misses the point that it's the government that is responsible for all this. And it is just more proof that we don't want government involved in the economy. We don't want government picking winners and losers when it comes to business because it just picks losers. You see, what this guy did is he invented a portable solar generator so that if you run out of power, you can just truck this generator in and it runs on solar power. And of course, the government loved this. President Biden made this guy's company a partner of the U.S. government, along with companies like, Alphabet and Amazon. He created some kind of group of companies that were partners in the battle against climate change. And so this company was exactly what the Democrats wanted because it was solar power. It was green energy. This was great. So they had the government's good housekeeping seal of approval. But what else they had from the government was a tax credit. Back in 2005, the government passed this accelerated tax credit for solar. And whatever you spent on some solar product, you could get a tax credit for 30% of the purchase price. So if you bought something for $100,000, you could take $30,000 and get a dollar for dollar credit right off the taxes. So if you owed $30,000 in taxes, you owe nothing, right? Because you invested $100,000 in this equipment, right? Well, what happened was this guy starts selling these mobile solar generators for $150,000 a pop. And it only costs him a couple $1,000s to make each one. So he's got this huge margin. And the way he was able to entice all these customers is he went to the customer and said, hey, all you got to do is put down 30%, which is the value of your tax credit, which was $45,000. So you give me $45,000 and you can buy one of these solar generators. And it's not going to cost you anything because you're going to get the $45,000 back from the government. So it's a freebie. What we're going to do is we're going to lease out your portable solar generator to other people that need it. And the lease payments that you're going to get will more than cover the balance of what you owe on your purchase, plus you're going to get a return. And so this was like a no-brainer. I mean, you can be a good citizen, you can support global warming, you can make a free investment where you come out of pocket $0, and any return you get is pure gravy because you've got no money tied up because you're just going to get rental income on these portable generators that you never even paid for. So he was selling a lot of these generators because nobody actually was taking delivery. The problem was he couldn't find people to rent them because they didn't even really work. That was the problem. They couldn't be placed into service because they didn't work. And so what he ended up doing when he found out that his invention didn't work